Welcome back to Healthier Daily. You know, I was visiting a friend last week and she told me something that broke my heart. She said, "Ben, I stopped going to my knitting group because I can't feel the needles anymore. My fingers are just buzzing."
That buzzing or tingling is something so many of us face as we get older. Some people feel like they're walking on pins and needles, or their legs suddenly feel like jelly for no reason. It's scary because it makes you feel like you're losing your independence.
And most people are told, well, that's just what happens when you turn 70. But you say that's not the whole story. You say it's actually an insulation problem.
Exactly. Think of your nerves like the electrical wires in your house. To work right, those wires need a plastic coating to keep the signal moving. In your body, that coating is made of a special kind of collagen. When that coating wears thin, the wires start to spark. That is where the tingling and weakness come from.
So if we can patch the wires, we can stop the sparks. Today we are looking at 8 vegetables that act like a repair kit for those nerves. We're starting at number 8 with a vegetable you've seen a million times: cauliflower.
Cauliflower is a secret nerve healer. It has a special nutrient that helps rebuild those protective coatings. But here's the catch: most people buy the white kind and boil it until it's mush. If you do that, you're pouring the medicine down the drain.
So what should we be doing instead?
First, look for the purple cauliflower if your store has it. That purple color has extra antioxidants that help repair nerves even faster. Second, stop boiling it. Lightly steam it for about 6 minutes. This keeps the repair kit intact so it can actually get to your fingers and toes.
And I've heard you recommend a little booster to help the cauliflower work even better.
Yes, toss it with a little coconut oil and a pinch of turmeric. The healthy fats in the oil act like a delivery truck, carrying those healing nutrients right through the gate that protects your nervous system. It's a simple change that can make a huge difference in how your hands feel by next week.
We're moving on to number 7, and it's a favorite in most American kitchens: sweet potatoes. Now, Dr. Hinohara, we always hear they are better than white potatoes, but you say they are actually nerve cell generators.
They really are, Ben. Sweet potatoes are loaded with something called beta-carotene. Your body turns that into vitamin A, which acts like a traffic controller for your nerve signals. When you don't have enough of it, the signals get confused, and that's when the misfiring, the tingling, and the numbness begins.
I've noticed many folks like to microwave their sweet potatoes because it's fast. Is that okay?
I'd actually advise against it. Microwaving heats things unevenly and can zap away the very compounds that fix your nerves. The best way is to bake them whole with the skin on at 375 degrees. That temperature is the sweet spot that keeps the nutrients alive. And remember, eat the skin. That's where the most powerful nerve protection is hidden.
That's a great tip. Now let's talk about number 6, beets. Some people love them. Some people, well, they aren't so sure. But you call them the circulation superfood.
I do. You see, Ben, your nerves are like tiny plants. They need water and food to survive. In your body, that comes from blood flow. Beets have natural nitrates that open up your blood vessels. It's like turning on a faucet. Suddenly, oxygen and nutrients can reach those starving nerves in your feet and hands.
So if someone has cold, numb feet, beets might be the answer to getting the blood moving down there again.
Exactly. And here's a doctor's secret for you: don't throw away the beet greens. Those leafy tops have more minerals than the root itself. Sauté them up with a little garlic. It's a double dose of nerve healing.
I love that. We're opening up the blood vessels with the beets and then sending in the vitamin A traffic controllers with the sweet potatoes. It's a beautiful system.
It really is. And when we move on to our next few vegetables, we're going to talk about a gel that actually coats your nerve endings to stop that pins and needles feeling for good. Here is part 3, the protective shield, where we look at 2 unique vegetables that provide a specialized coating for your nerves.
We are moving right along to number 5, and this one is a bit of a treat: artichokes. Now, Dr. Hinohara, I know people love these with a little butter, but you say they are actually famous in Italy for helping people with carpal tunnel and hand tingling.
That is exactly right, Ben. Artichokes contain a very rare compound called cynerin. Think of it like a natural fertilizer for your nerves. It actually helps increase something called nerve growth factor. Essentially, it's telling your body, hey, let's grow some healthy new nerve tissue here.
That is incredible. So it's not just protecting what we have, it's encouraging the body to heal. But I hear there is a right way and a wrong way to cook an artichoke.
There certainly is. Most people boil them, but that just leaves the medicine in the pot of water. The secret is to steam them upside down. This traps the healing steam inside the leaves, and when you eat them, make sure you scrape the flesh off the leaves with your teeth. That's where the nerve-calming nutrients are most concentrated.
I'll remember that upside down is the way to go. Now let's talk about number 4, okra. A lot of folks stay away from okra because they say it's slimy, but you say that slime is actually the best part.
I know the texture can be a bit strange, but that gel is pure gold for your nervous system. It's a special kind of natural sugar that travels through your body and acts like a soothing coat for your nerve endings. If you feel that sharp pins and needles sensation, okra helps dull that spark.
So how can we eat it without it being too, slimy?
The trick is high, quick heat. Slice them into little rounds and pan fry them in a dry skillet for just a few minutes until they get a little crispy. You get all the nerve coating benefits without the texture that turns people off.
And you mentioned a morning water trick with okra too, right?
Yes. If you're really struggling with leg weakness, slice a few pods and let them soak in a glass of water overnight. Drink that water first thing in the morning. It's like a nerve tonic that starts your day by stabilizing your blood sugar and protecting your nerves from the inside out.
We are getting into our top 3 now, and number 3 is a vegetable that always makes me think of fancy dinners: asparagus. Now, Dr. Hinohara, I've heard you call this the master cleaner for our nerves. Why is that?
Because it's loaded with something called glutathione. I know that's a big name, but think of it as the master janitor. It goes through your system and scrubs away the rust and toxins that gunk up your nerves. When your nerves are clean, the signals can travel at full speed again. That means less leg weakness and much better balance.
I've noticed that as we get older, balance becomes a real worry. So asparagus actually helps the message get from the brain to the legs faster.
Exactly. It improves the signal clarity. But here's a tip: don't overcook it. You want it to stay a little snappy. Just 3 minutes in boiling water or 5 minutes in the oven. And pay attention to the tips of the asparagus. Those little tops are rich in a nutrient that strengthens the tiny blood vessels that feed your nerves.
That's a great reminder. Keep them snappy. Now let's talk about number 2, carrots. We always hear they are good for the eyes, but you say they are a nerve guard.
They really are. Carrots have a natural compound that they use to protect themselves from germs, and it turns out that same compound is like a bodyguard for our nerve cells. A big study showed that people who ate carrots daily had a 73% reduction in that annoying tingling.
73%, that is a massive drop. Is it better to eat them raw or cooked?
This is the doctor's secret. Lightly steam them for exactly 4 minutes. This softens the carrot just enough so your body can unlock the bodyguard compounds but doesn't destroy them. And whatever you do, don't peel them. The skin is where the most powerful nerve repair medicine lives.
So we wash them well, leave the skin on, and steam them for 4 minutes. It sounds like a simple way to get some serious grip strength back in our hands.
It really is. And when we move to our number 1 vegetable, we're going to talk about something that is so powerful. Researchers are seeing it actually repair damaged nerves in people over 80 years old.
We have finally made it to number 1. And I have to say, this one might be the most common vegetable in the entire grocery store. Yet we walk past it every day. We are talking about red cabbage. Dr. Hinohara, you say this is the heavyweight champion for our nerves.
It really is, Ben. Red cabbage has these deep purple pigments called anthocyanins. Now don't worry about the name. Just remember that those pigments are like a repair crew for your nerves. In a brand new study, researchers found that eating red cabbage helped repair damaged nerve coatings by a whopping 92%.
92%. That is incredible. Does that mean people who have been struggling with weak legs or numb fingers for years can actually see a turnaround?
That is exactly what the science is showing. It helps the insulation on your nerves grow back. But there is a very specific way you have to eat it. If you boil red cabbage until it's gray and mushy, you've killed the medicine. To get that 92% repair rate, you really need to eat it raw.
Raw cabbage. That makes me think of coleslaw. Is that the best way to do it?
It is, I call it, the nerve repair slaw. You shred the red cabbage very thin that breaks the cells so the nutrients can get out. Then you massage it with a little bit of salt and some apple cider vinegar. Let it sit for about 30 minutes. The vinegar unlocks those purple pigments so your body can soak them up like a sponge.
And what about cooking? Some people find raw cabbage a little tough on the stomach.
If you must cook it, keep it quick. Saute it for no more than 8 minutes. But whatever you do, don't use an aluminum pan. The metal reacts with the purple medicine and destroys it. Use stainless steel or ceramic.
So the doctor's recipe is about 1.5 cups of this red cabbage slaw every day.
That's the goal. Many of my patients over 80 years old have tried this, and they tell me that after just a few weeks, the pins and needles feeling in their feet started to fade away, and they felt much steadier when they stood up from their favorite chair.
It's amazing to think that a simple, affordable head of cabbage could be the key to getting your balance and your feeling back. We've covered so much ground today, from the bodyguard compounds in carrots to that incredible 92% repair rate from red cabbage. But Dr. Hinohara, if someone is sitting at home right now, feeling that buzzing in their hands or that heaviness in their legs, how do they start? It's a lot of vegetables to remember.
It can be overwhelming, Ben. So I always tell my patients, don't try to do it all at once. Just start with the big three. First, grab a head of red cabbage and make that simple slaw. Have a little bit with your lunch every day. Second, swap your white potatoes for sweet potatoes at dinner. And remember, keep the skin on third pick. One green like asparagus or spinach to keep those signals moving fast.
And what about that daily nerve check you mentioned? How can our viewers tell if it's working?
I like to have my patients do a grip and wiggle test every morning. When you wake up, wiggle your toes and squeeze a softball, or even just your own hand. Pay attention to how sharp that feeling is. Over the first 2 weeks, you should start to notice the buzzing getting quieter, and your grip feeling a little more solid.
That's a great way to track your progress. And I think it's so important for our viewers to remember that their body's not broken, it's just waiting for the right supplies.
Exactly, Ben. We aren't just getting older, we are weathering. And just like a house, a little bit of the right maintenance goes a long way. These vegetables aren't just food. They are the insulation tape and the cleaning crew your nerves have been begging for.
Dr. Hinohara, thank you for sharing these hidden secrets from the grocery store. It gives us all so much hope to know that the answer isn't always in a prescription bottle. Sometimes it's right there in the produce aisle.
My pleasure, Ben. To everyone at home, start today. Your hands and your legs will thank you for it. We want to see you out there walking, knitting, and playing with your grandkids for a long, long time.
Thank you for joining us on Healthier Daily. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, please hit that like button and share it with a friend who might be struggling with their balance. We love reading your comments. Tell us, which of these 8 vegetables are you putting on your list today?
Stay steady, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.